Hello friends, welcome back once again. I hope you are doing well and moving in right direction. इस वीडियो में मैं कोशिश करूंगा आपको समझाने का कि व्हाट इज इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स एंड हाउ इट इज इंटरलिंक्ड विद दिल्ली लिकर पॉलिसी एंड आल्सो मेरा फोकस ये रहेगा आपको समझाने का कि कैसे इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स वर्क, व्हाट इज इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स और कैसे एनोनिमस फंडिंग हो रही है और हो रही थी. It means now it is down by Supreme Court on various grounds. And also, I will cover the scheme, how these electoral bonds or funding interconnected with Delhi liquor policy or the allegation made by enforcement director towards Arvind Kejriwal and our leader allegation toward electoral bond to NDA government. Now here also you can see these two picture of ED, Enforcement Director, and CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation. And these two agencies are complete control under a ruling party or a union government as a cash parrot because they speak the voice of master. So you can see here the ruling party leader and PM of India, how these two agencies directly work towards the corruption, scheme, and money laundering. They have absolute power, but there are some restrictions related with that. I will cover in upcoming videos. So without wasting our time, friends, let's be started. Now, friends, मेरा focus ये रहेगा वो समझाने का from history background. Let's go in history, talk about demonetization happened in 2016. Now, what the purpose of demonetization, friend? To denotify 500 and 1000 currency as not legal tender. It means अब ये दो करेंसी का कोई महत्व नहीं है. What the purpose of this trend की denotified currencies कर दी गई 500 and 1000? The reason is that to curb black money and also illicit funding. So ये purpose था demonetization करने का. But meanwhile, I will take you about there are few act or there is some clause in Companies Act 2013. इनके कुछ clause है मैं आपको पहले aware करवा दूं. Then I will go about the electoral bonds. What is electoral bond? So there is one section is known 1821. There clearly mentioned earlier that corporate company unlimited donate to any political parties. So the corporate company unlimited donation to the political party. There is no capping. There is no strictness or there is no kind of restriction there. But this clause is struck down by Supreme Court. Why? Because it violates Article 14, right to equality. Friend, it means the big company, like big corporate company, they can donate so much money and might be influence the political parties or for having contact or some kind of benefits. Now, after that, there's another clause. This clause is cancelled, null down or strike down. They have to put in 7.5% capping. Means corporate company can donate whatever they earn in last three preceding years. Preceding years means, friend, let's suppose today is 2024. We are going 24 years. Now, preceding years like 23, 22, and 21. So last three preceding years, whatever the balance account, whatever the profit they earn from those 7.5%, they can donate to the political parties. But what happened, friends? In 2017, electoral bonds came up with the law, Finance Act, and 2018 notified. So in this year, this law 7.5% is removed, and now it gives complete power to corporate company to donate unlimited, means multiple times they can buy electoral bonds and donate to the political parties. So friend, here is the catch. Just try to think, I am just whatever the electoral bonds going to in this direction. So there kind of so much corruption, or also the allegation from civil society that most of the corporate company balance account balance account is negative and zero. They buy electoral bonds in 1 crore of notes, and they can donate any political party for their own purpose. So ये show कर रहा है friends कि if a company or corporate company have a negative bank balance account or a zero balance account, how they donate those funds by electoral bonds to corporate company. It means some kind of corruption here. यानी वो पैसे कहाँ से आए corporate money के पास. So friend, also in this year I'll try to cover Delhi liquor policy. How private player enter in the license of Delhi liquor policy. How get the license for liquor in Delhi, and how they earn those money diverted to electoral bond, and also without there is anonymous funding. So there is no data or no awareness, no transparent in this. So let's cover. So just talk about in this video. I will cover electoral bonds and related topics. This is a part one, friends. Okay, so just cover. This is a part one, and here I'll try to make you aware about and make you understood about the election funding and electoral bonds. Means previous funding or their community उनका recommendation क्या था और क्या कैसे काम होता था. Now also I will cover central agencies like ED and CBI, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2022, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 and its amendment, Model Code of Conduct, and little bit some extra knowledge. But we I'm just trying to cover this video for your knowledge, for your examination point of view, and also awareness. So as you can see in this picture, friend, this is electoral bond. Now this guy giving donate to any political party. This is a political parties, and as you can see here, the hand only. But we don't know face. We don't know aware about that who paid whom for what. यस फ्रेंड, हमें होम तो पता है कि ये इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड तो किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को जा रहा है. इट मींस बट हमें ये नहीं पता कि हु पेड, हु बाय इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स और किसको पे किया. वो तो हमें पता है पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, सिर्फ एसबीआई और सिर्फ इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया अवेयर ऑफ दैट. बट फॉर व्हाट, फॉर होम, क्या पर्पस था, क्या फायदा हो रहा है. इट मींस देयर आर कंप्लीट एनोनिमिटी, complete there is no transparency. It means you can understand that who buy electoral bond, whom paid, or for what. So just kind of things is going to happen. बस आप इस चीज पे फोकस रहो और समझने की कोशिश करो. Now let's go why electoral funding and it's important for democracy. Yes friend, this is the important one. क्यों electoral funding important है democracy country के लिए. So you all aware that India is one of the largest and populous democratic in world. So there are different multi-religion, multi-culture, multi-ethnic, and there are different aspiration of the Indian society, Indian community, and different cultures and religions. So for those aspirations, we need free and fair election to accomplish their wishes by their representative. So they needs money for election campaign, free and fair. So as you can see, first point, funds raised by political parties for election campaign throughout the country. Yes, friend, this is the important one. Throughout the country for Lok Sabha and for the state legislature. They also need for staff salaries, traveling expenses, to etc. Yes, friend. So, friend, I just give you one extra knowledge about you. There is one portal that is known as Suvidha portal. Yes, friend. Just go Google and search it. What is Suvidha portal? This is from Election Commission of India initiative. Just go and aware about why the funding important, or why the political parties and candidates need funding. Now, cost to bear election campaign, conducting free and fair election. So, friends, this is also important one that the every political parties need money for their election manifesto, for their election campaigning throughout the country, or just try to make aware about the people's or public that we want to come to power or deliver service, what you want. So this kind of election manifesto they show. Now during फंडिंग टाइप्स ड्यूरिंग इन्फेंट इंडिया, जब इंडिया आजाद होती उसके सामने उसके उस टाइम में कैसी फंडिंग होती थी. नो पार्शियल स्टेट फंडिंग इज अलाउड. गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड्स फंड्स टू पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज. यस फ्रेंड, बाय मींस किस तरह पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को गवर्नमेंट फंड प्रोवाइड करेगी, बट फोकस ऑन पार्शियल फंडिंग rather than not complete funding. So there is one is individual funding. How the individual funding is going to work? So there is direct funding. Government funds direct to political parties, which is prohibited in India. Yes, friend, this is the kind of thing that happen that government only fund those political parties. They have good background. They have done in previous elections very well, or they got some kind of attachment or national party or the state party. So this kind of this complete prohibited in India. Now the second one, indirect funding, free access to media, public rallies, free subsidized transport, public places with regulated manner. Yes, friend, this is one. So indirect funding means the government will try give to some access to media, free access to media, some places, public rallies, some kind of payment or some kind of subsidy with that. So let's move. Now, friend, this is an important one, corporate funding. Why I'm telling this is an important one? Because already आपको मैंने बताया कि companies funding regulated by corporate funding to political parties regulated by Companies Act 2013. Yes, friend. It means there are the two clause. Companies 3 years old after that become eligible to donate funds to political parties. Yes, friend. But firm or company not owned by गवर्नमेंट का स्टेट गवर्नमेंट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की कंपनी नहीं होना चाहिए और वो फंड कर सकते पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज का. सो फ्रेंड, हियर इज द कैच. इट मींस like if a company want to donate any political parties in 2024, so those company need to be registered or established in 3 years before, like this one, friend, 23, 22, and 21. So after 3 years establishment, they got eligibility to donate in 2024 election. So friend, here is the catch. It means this law is valid. This law is right now is in Companies Act, but this law is also valid on many companies, many corporate companies, and they can donate only establishment of 1 year or 6 months, 2 years. So this kind of violation, there is a loophole, and corporate company enjoy very well. Now, the second clause, company donates 7.5% of average profits made during three simultaneous preceding financial years. Yes, friend, just try to understand that just like a company in 2024, any companies like X is a company. Before 23, 24, 22, 23, 22, and 21 years, like after 3 years, whatever the earning, whatever the balance account, so from those 3 years profit account, they donate 7.5% to any of the political parties. So friend, when electoral bonds, जब electoral bonds enacted हुआ, this law removed or they give complete power to corporate company donate multiple times or many so many political funding, large amount political funding, or so many times of funding to political parties. So now also there is a guidelines or there is a act said companies show loss and profit account to governments. Yes, friend. Now we don't know, but after the electoral bond strike down, we are aware about that. Many companies have zero balance account, zero friend, zero balance account, and negative balance account. They donate so much money to political parties, in crores, friend. They buy multiples of bond multiple times and donate. So this is also going to be kind of sound like a corruption or black money. The corporate company, how they can get those money. This is kind of black money or kind of other thing. So, but focus on partial state funding with regulation to control unaccounted black money. Yes, friend. But what happened? This is going to happen, friend. आपको मैंने पहले बता दिया कि black money curve करने के लिए ये initiative था, but it's going to happen. Now, finding during Atal respected Atal Bihari Vajpayee time, what they had taken initiative at that time. So they amend Income Tax Act 1961 and allow if political parties disclose its donation in specified manner, not liable for paid tax and filing income tax return with Election Commission of India, Income Tax Authority. Yes, friend. It means that if any political party, let's suppose X is a political parties, and they show how they get donation, like before election, after election, monthly wise or yearly wise. If they show this kind of specified manners, so they are not liable for filing income tax return. So what the ideology behind in this trend? Just focus on ideology, constitutional ideology, moral and constitutional values, donation by check, and also on altruistic behavior. Yes, friend, this is like a moral. So there is a other thing. Just go see Seven Sins of Mahatma Gandhi. Whatever about that, the politics without principle, wealth without worth, and conscience without pleasure without conscience, and so on. Just go through it and just try to cover this topic in a different way. Try to think. आप कोशिश करो सोचने का in different and broad perspective में. Now, this is another Representation of People Act 1951, 29B. Individual person donate political parties. They are 100% immune from income tax reduction. Yes, friend, they are 100% immune from income tax reduction. It means if any individual person donate any of the political parties, any kind of amount, those amount is incomplete of, there is not going to any deduction in income tax. Now, let's talk about, there are a few committees in the past, state election funding. They give their views and other kind of thing. The first committee is uh, the first committee, Dinesh Goswami committee, and what the view and recommendation is given in Dinesh Goswami 1990, limited support by states on vehicles and fuels. Yes, friend, this is going to happen that during the model code of conduct, during the election campaign time, they not use public machinery or the public fund for the election campaign, vehicles and fuels, and other kind of election manifesto, election campaign. They're limited support, just strict and strict the limited support for them. Now, there is another committee, Indrajit Committee 1998. तो उन्होंने रिकमेंडेशन क्या दिया था? Government donate to registered national and state parties, allocated shambles parties in kind, यानी जो गवर्नमेंट ओनली डोनेट रजिस्टर्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज और नेशनल पार्टीज जिन ऑलरेडी जिनके पास अलोकेटेड सैम्बल्स है, बट इन काइंड, नॉट कैश फ्रेंड, कैश में नहीं देना, इन काइंड में just kind of support, this kind of subsidy kind of thing, but not complete case. And also recommends a complete ban of corporate funding. Corporate funding को दूरी रखो funding करने से electoral. But what happening electoral bonds, friends? So this is just nullified now. This also strike down or put down by Election Commission of India under Article 14 and also against the free fair election. Why is so, friend? Now this in this committee recommendation is against the very ideology of free and fair election. That what about independent parties, friend? जो रजिस्टर्ड पार्टी को आप मोटिवेट कर रहे हो, तो व्हाट अबाउट इंडिपेंडेंट पार्टीज? क्या ये आर्टिकल 14 के अगेंस्ट में है या नहीं? जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दैट, फ्रेंड. सो दिस थिंग कि इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट्स और like already registered political party, they have some difference. So how can the fair field level you create? Just like a racetrack, friend. You are all aware about the racetrack, that how in inner line person, how outer line person, the racetrack. So we need a fair field level for all of them. Now, the another recommendation or another report of Law Commission report on Reform Electoral Law 1999, इन्होंने बोला ठीक है, we upheld Indrajit committee report with fund in kind, not case. Yes, friend, यहाँ भी इन्होंने बोला not case, recognized political parties and valid votes in previous election of Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. It means, friends, इस इन्होंने इंद्रजीत कमेटी के साथ ही गए, उन्होंने बोला ठीक है आप रजिस्टर्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को दो, और इन केस और not in case but in kind आपको political parties को pay करना. But it's also again strike down due to Article 14 and Article 324, free and fair election. Also this penalize unaccounted money trail. So I will explain this, what is unaccounted money trail. So the same thing like the money come from the source and destination. We don't aware कि source से जा रहा है जो electoral bond में हुआ है. मैं आपको समझाने की कोशिश करूँगा ऐसे कि source क्या है, destination हमें नहीं पता. तो this is also strike down. So the working of Constitution Report 2001 and second Administrative Reforms Committee 2008. So this is not important, friends. Just go through these two committees. Just aware about when you are जब आप मेंस राइट लिखोगे या जस्ट दिस टू कमिटी कभी भी एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू पूछ लिया जाता है, जस्ट अवेयर रहो आप कि क्या है ये. सो ऑलवेज इन दिस कमिटी ने बैन कहा था कि कॉर्पोरेट फंडिंग नहीं होना चाहिए. नाउ जस्ट मूव ऑन another one. What is electoral bonds, friends? So here I am going to tell everything. What is electoral bonds? और अपकमिंग वीडियो में मैं समझाने की कोशिश करूंगा how it works. Now during NDA government, NDA means BJP government time, electoral bonds came. So NDA government introduced in 2017 as a financial bill, friend. Or it was enacted in 2018, friend. 2018 became a law or enacted. So it was an instrument, exactly, securities that used for donate funds to political parties. Yes, friend. It means it's kind of DD, demand draft. आप सबको पता होगा डीडी कैसे काम करता है, फ्रेंड, कि लाइक यू वांट अ डीडी, आप बैंक में डायरेक्ट जाओ, आपको 10,000 का डीडी चाहिए, 20,000 का डीडी चाहिए, आप पे करो और बैंक कुछ एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज करता है, आपको डीडी बना के दे देगा और किसको पे करना है वो जस्ट उसका नाम मेंशन रहेगा. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड गोइंग टू वर्क और ऐसा काम करता था. बट नाउ इज इट strike down by Supreme Court. Now, it is implemented in 2018 as a bearer bonds or promissory notes. Yes, friend. It means it's a bearer bonds. Promissory notes assurance means SBI assured that अगर आप ये bond खरीदते हो तो after that this bond goes to political parties, kind of promissory notes. So SBI Bank is custodian of behalf of anonymous donor. Yes, friend. Within 15 days, donor donates to political parties. So friend, in this picture, I'm trying to cover. मैं आपको समझाने की कोशिश करूंगा how electoral bonds work. Now this guy, as you can see, this is an X. This is maybe Indian firm, Indian individual, or any foreign subsidiary in India established. So they can buy this promissory note or electoral bond. This is electoral bond from SBI. And within the 15 days, they can donate any of the political parties. Like you can see NDA government, BJP, AAP, INC, Indian National Congress, Telugu Desam Party, any party they can donate within the 15 days. So friend, here is the catch. Now, earlier मैंने आपको समझाया था who buy, whom, for what. सो फ्रेंड्स, आप जस्ट थिंक करो कि होम तो हमें पता चल रहा है कौन है, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को जा रहा है, और हमें नहीं पता इज ओनली अवेयर अबाउट इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया एंड एसबीआई नोन वेरी वेल. बट व्हाट अबाउट अस? वी आर द वोटर, वी आर द वी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, वी मेक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, हम अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बनाते हैं. तो हमें क्यों वो चीज हमें नहीं बताया जाए? जिससे कंप्लीट एनोनिमिटी इन हियर और कंप्लीट एनोनिमस इन हियर मींस इसने बॉन्ड खरीदा, मतलब दिस इज लाइक एक्स, इसने बॉन्ड खरीदा एसबीआई से और डायरेक्टली पेड टू पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज. बट हमें ये भी नहीं पता किसने बॉन्ड खरीदा, मतलब मनी कहाँ से आया. लेट्स सपोज लाइक एक्स एंड दिस इज अ वाई. वाई इज अ फॉरेन कंपनी and X is Indian firm. This is an Indian firm. Now, just think about friend. This is Indian firm. Now, why gave some money to X to buy electoral bond? And now, X will fine. We can buy electoral for you. Now, why? After that, X buy electoral bond, give to Y. Any kind of they can donate any political parties. So, what is kind of thing, man? This money, we don't know how this money came from. This is a kind of scam, corruption, or through the money laundering, through the illicit way they gain those money. हमें ये नहीं पता चला कैसे फंडिंग हो रही है. So this going to happen, friend. Now, condition who buy eligible political parties. So friend, in this slide मेरा फोकस ये रहेगा वो समझाने का कि what the condition in electoral bonds, कौन खरीद सकता है और which political party is eligible. Now, any political parties can secure more than 1% vote in previous Lok Sabha and state legislative election, Vidhan Sabha. Like you can see NDA, Indian National Congress, AAP, National People's Party, and so on. So you can see here, friend, this picture. taken from Supreme Court verdict after on electoral bonds that these parties BJP, Congress, TMC, BJD, DMK, TRS, and others, they are eligible to get donation from from the corporate parties or corporate companies. They get eligible for funding. So as you can see in this donation by electoral bonds 2017-18 to 2023 तक. तो आप देखोगे इसमें try to understand BJP at the time of electoral bond come to force is the NDA government introduced this electoral bond. So this more benefits friend. 57.3% donation made to BJP, then Congress, then TMC. So what the purpose of this friend? The electoral bond, what the purpose behind why this kind of anonymous funding? Now, electoral bonds only by the citizen of India or body incorporated in India. Yes, friend. This is anonymous donors. It means that any Indian citizen or any Indian firm, corporate companies, or foreign subsidiaries. Foreign subsidiaries here it means that the main branch of any, let's suppose, X. X is a main branch. It is in यूएस यूएस में एक्स का मेन ब्रांच है नाउ इसने अपनी एक सब्सिडरी इंडिया में खोला इंडियन फर्म में खोला दैट इज एलिजिबल फॉर फंडिंग बट फ्रेंड देयर इज अ कंडीशन 3 years ओल्ड होना चाहिए 3 years एस्टेब्लिशमेंट होना चाहिए दिस इज लॉ बट दोस लॉ इज जस्ट वॉलेटेड और इस कारण से दिस गोइंग टू फंड इज एनोनिमस नाउ देयर इज अनदर वन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पीपल एक्ट 1951-29A association individual declare as political party make application to इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया फॉर रजिस्ट्रेशन इट मीन्स फ्रेंड कि अगर कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी इंडिपेंडेंट पॉलिटिकल पार्टी स्टैंड करती है तो पहले तो रजिस्ट्रेशन तो लेना पड़ेगा आफ्टर इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया देयर आफ्टर दे हैव टू गेन 1% वोट्स इन प्रीवियस लोकसभा देयर आफ्टर दे एलिजिबल फॉर गेटिंग इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स और उनको एलिजिबल हो सकते थे बॉन्ड्स ले पाते तो फ्रेंड्स आप जस्ट थिंक दैट कि इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड 2018 में आया बट व्हाट अबाउट सुप्रीम कोर्ट टाइम लेता है 3 से 4 साल किसी भी डिसीजन में आता है एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच 5 जज बेंच सिट होने के बाद ही वो वर्डिक्ट देते हैं सो नाउ दिस इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड स्ट्राइक डाउन एंड डेफिनेटली फ्रेंड आल्सो स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया इज सोल प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स यस फ्रेंड मींस स्टेट बैंक में कंप्लीट पावर और कंप्लीट राइट्स to issue electoral bonds to any individual or Indian individual or Indian firm. So I will explain further in next video कि कैसे स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया वर्क कर रहा है कैसे एनोनिमिटी हो रही है एंड ऑल्सो एनोनिमस इतना ज़्यादा इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स क्यों बीजेपी और एनडीए गवर्नमेंट और पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज में गए और क्या एनोनिमिटी अंदर थी उसमें और व्हाई इट इज स्ट्राइक डाउन सो फ्रेंड इन नेक्स्ट वीडियो आई एम ट्राइंग टू कवर in part 2 electoral bonds and issue other issue I am going to explain the same agencies like ED CBI and PMLA Prevention of Corruption Act Model Code of Conduct and also one of the video or one of the thing about the thoughts of one of the candidate from Mandi freedom of India so I don't know why the political parties candidate को खड़ा करते हो जिन्हें अपने freedom के बारे में नहीं पता but I don't know friends and I just want to tell you one thing media nowadays just think about media is free and fair or they are beneath media ethics what kind of paid news they are doing during the model code of conduct so friend here's something for you just think about that how BJP NDA government divert their position to regain power like just divert from farmer protest over MSP in Haryana you can much aware how AAP CM jail put in jail for Delhi liquor policy and excise scam how Citizen Amendment Act enforced after you much aware about Shaheen Bagh protest 3-4 साल बाद लॉ ने अब जाके क्यों इन्फोर्स किया गया व्हाट द इशू ऑफ कच्छा थिब्बू आइलैंड इन तमिलनाडु और श्रीलंका और इंडिया के बीच क्या डिस्प्यूट था तो उन्होंने इंडिया चाइना और वॉर 1962 यानी अब नाउ अर्लियर बीजेपी फोकस ऑन इन्फ्लेशन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट नाउ डायरेक्टली फोकस ऑन बॉर्डर इशू इंडिया बॉर्डर इशूज लाइक इंडिया एंड अरुणाचल प्रदेश में जब वॉर हुआ उसमें एलिगेट कांग्रेस को डायरेक्टली पुट कर रही है कि बिकॉज ऑफ यू वी लूज वॉर हमारा लैंड आपके वजह से उनके साइड चला गया सेम लाइक in Sri Lanka 1974 what happened during Indira Gandhi time like the situation at that time is so typical friend कि कैसे Tamil fisher fought broke out between Tamil fishermen and also Sinhala GAR. So I will explain this thing, but just tell me if you want this kind of video. I will explain about and make a separate video for that. So, friend, thank you so much for the same. And now, just try to comment below and tell me. मुझे आप बताओ आपको किस टाइप का वीडियो चाहिए. And after that, I'm trying to cover with other topic. Thank you so much.